When the topic of trend came up for a video series, there's a simple trade with a trend, why or why not. And when I look at my own trading and just the years of experience with the markets, and from what I've read from other traders and where I learned how to trade and in the market type of action, it's really not that simple. Yes or no answer, quite frankly. You could summarize it by saying, yeah, you know what? Trade with the trend. Why go against the flow, right? Follow the herd. Why try to pick a top? Why try to pick a bottom? Doesn't work. I would disagree with that. Paul Tudor Jones is a contrarian trader. If you don't know who that is, you should Google this guy's name. He picks tops and bottoms. That's what he does. And there's a reason why he does that. We're going to cover that later on in the series of these videos. But trade with the trend. It's a good way to trail your stop up, right? You want to trail with the trend, right? Why go against the flow? What's the other saying? Trade with the trend until it bends. It's your friend, or something silly like that. And you know what? Perhaps it is your friend, but there's going to be a point in time when that friend's going to turn into an enemy, and you are going to be the person that's buying right at the top of the market. You're going to be selling right at the bottom. But we're going to start off, walking before we start to run, because this is a pretty in-depth topic, and I'm going to drag it out over a whole bunch of videos on trend, and hopefully by the time you end up with it at the end of this, we find some common ground, I guess is a good way. So let's just grab the standard definition of what we hear about trend: the general direction of a market, of the price of an asset. I don't know what this is there. Oh, general direction of a market. That's why. Let's get rid of this. There we go. General direction of a market or the price of an asset. That works better, right? What does that mean? Wow, that's pretty broad, vague. It's kind of meaningless. The general direction of a market or the price of an asset. Wow. Okay, well, let's bring up a chart and take a look at something here. This is the Euro Japanese Yen daily chart, Forex pair. Looking at this market here, what do you see? Well, we hear if the market starts in the bottom left and goes up to the top right, it's we're in an uptrend. If it starts off in the upper left down to the bottom right, we are in a downtrend. Well, let's look here. We're looking for this right here, the general direction. Well, generally, looks like it's gone up more than it's gone down, right? So you could generally say this is in a general uptrend, right? Just using that definition. What good does that do you? Well, what's this market? You tell me. Up, right? Well, here's the problem. This is a 5-minute chart of the Euro Japanese Yen. This is an uptrend. How do we know that? Well, the general direction's up, right? This is a 20-period simple moving average. That's pointing up. Here's your MACD. Here's the histogram. They're up, right? Above the zero line. There's been no crossover. Here's your RSI, standard settings. What I've done is I put a line here at the 50 level. Another way to determine trend is look at it. Well, it's above 50, we're looking for longs. Below 50, we're going to look for shorts. And for those of you who are saying, wait a second, where's the 30? That's right down there, okay? Everyone knows that's 70 and the 30 are the settings for the RSI. They're just the general default settings. So this you'd be looking to buy, right? Well, here's the problem. What's this market doing? It's going down. So we need to find some way to objectively say, wow, you know what? I'm going to follow the trend. But what trend am I going to follow? Am I going to follow the day trend, daily trend? Am I going to follow the 5-minute chart trend? Wow, am I just going to look at one time frame and trade that? Well, you could do that, which would have you buying this 5-minute chart. And if you bought down here, it's a good little move, right? 40 pips. But if you're looking out for a longer move and you're going to be buying this market, I think you might run into a little bit of problems just by looking at this daily chart. But you know what? Let's not jump ahead. Let's look at a way that we can maybe decide to put some rules to how we're going to decide what trend is. This is the daily chart of the Euro Yen again. Scroll back to the December. I think this is December just passed, right? Yeah, December 2010. Okay, so that's where we are. Now we're going to put some rules in. We're going to say this. All right, that when we are in an uptrend, the market has to be making higher highs and higher lows. If the market's in a downtrend, we need lower highs and lower lows, right? The exact opposite. So basically what we're saying is when we're in the uptrend, we want to see the market consistently making higher prices, not lower prices. We want to see higher prices. When we're in a downtrend, the market's going down, we want to see the market making lower prices. Okay? We're going to keep it nice and simple. All right, so let's get back to our chart. It's going to start right here. We got a lower high than this one. We have a lower low. We have a lower high than this one. A lower low. When did we say the market's going to make a lower low? Lower low, lower high, lower low. Lower high, lower low. Market's definitely in a downtrend. Well, when are we going to start putting it in an uptrend? Well, we need to see that breached, right? Now I'm just using normal market swings here. It gets even more complicated, right? Because we can actually call this a swing high, right? There's a lower high here, lower high here, with a higher high right here in the middle, right? It's basically a three candle pattern here. 1, 2, 3. So we can actually say this. We can move this down to here. Copy this. Put this here. Kind of the same thing right here. There we go. So now what do we have here? We have the market starting to move up, right? And how do we know that? Because of our definition that we had over here. A market is in an uptrend when it goes higher highs and higher lows. So let's look at that again. Here's a lower low right here. Lower high, lower low. So we're still in that downtrend, right? We put in a higher high right here. We put in a higher low than this one. Once this market breaches this level, we can say we are in a uptrend, right? Because that fits our definition, doesn't it? Of the market making higher highs and higher lows. There you go. This is also known as a simple 1, 2, 3 reversal. 1, 2, 3. The breach of this would be your trigger. Right. So let's keep moving forward here. See what happens. Higher high, higher low. So we're still in a looking to buy this market. When you get into market reversals where the trend starts to change from up to down or down to up, you get this kind of a mixed bag of lower highs and lower lows. Then it starts moving up. I took this one away from here. Let's put this back over here. So we still have a higher high, higher low. So we're all into this area right here from about the what is this price here? From about the 112.14 area or 110.97 area. We're looking to buy anything that comes in to the euro yen in an uptrend, right? We're looking to buy any buy signal. And how else can we say, well, instead of just looking for a general direction, we're going to look for something else. We're looking for price to bounce off maybe a support level. Well, that's what you kind of get right here. Price resistance at this level, right? Bounced up. Price came back, bounced off this level right here. Right, that whole resistance becomes support. The thing you've always heard about that. Anyways, let's just keep going. Now we get this little bit of a news thing going on here, which kind of skews us a little bit, right? Higher high, lower low. But what happens? We continually make higher highs. So our idea of buying this market is still pretty much in force, isn't it? Look at this, higher high, higher low. Okay, let's do this one together. What do we have here? We have a lower high than this one. Okay, so let's make sure we get this over here. Now what do we have here? We have a lower low. Oops. There we go. Let's put this in here. And let's get this out because that's not a higher low. There we go. Now, this is kind of dragging on a little bit, and you're probably going, what is he saying? What is he saying? You got to remember, I'm a trader first. Okay, I'm not a, I don't make my money educating people. It's not what I do. All right. There's a lot of people out there that they say they trade, but they don't really trade. They trade demo accounts, and they make their whole living just by marketing stuff. Well, that's not me. So what do we have? We have a higher high, higher low than this one, right? And then we have lower high. So once price breached this level right here, this higher low area, we are starting to look to do what with the euro yen? We are looking, whoops, get that back up there. We are looking to sell this market, but now look what's happening. Lower low. Okay, but now here's the problem. This trend, it's getting kind of sloppy now, isn't it? Oops, wrong one. Look at this. What this market is doing now, it's kind of chopping around, isn't it? It's making lower highs, higher lows inside the previous lower high, lower low. We're in a chop zone here. You can see it. And just by having some basic rules, like these little fakes to the top here, suckered in some breakout traders probably. Look at this. It's kind of ranging in this little area right here. So you got, what is this, these price levels here? We are looking at 117.30. 113. Still some, some ways to make some money in this little market here. But see, this is how it's not as simple as saying, well, I'm going to trade the trend. I'm not going to trade the trend, because there's so many different ways to decide what the trend is. And, trends end at a point as well. And believe me, you don't want to be the buyer in an uptrend that's ending, because you're about to lose. So what I want to say here is we also have a sideways, right? Basically what that is, when you have a pattern of the higher high, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, or whatever, or a combination of those, a higher high, lower low, any combination of those inside a previous pattern, which is what we have here. Lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low, higher high, and we don't know what's going to happen here. Right, this market hasn't done this yet, hasn't finished this move off here, but it could very well bounce at the 114 level. So trading with the trend is a whole lot easier than picking the turning points in the market. However, the problem is the trend's always going to end. And which trend are you trading them? Long-term trend, the medium, the medium-term trend, or the short-term trend? Are you trading a 5-minute trend? You trade the daily trend. The 4-hour trend, the weekly trend, the monthly trend. You see what I'm saying? It gets really, really difficult. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second you might want to trade against the trend. What I'm suggesting is there's going to be a point where that trend is going to end. And what I want to do in the next coming videos is we're going to decide what rules we can apply to how long to trade with the trend, where we should be thinking of, well, you know what? Yeah, the market's in an uptrend in my hourly chart. But the problem is I'm looking at my daily chart and there's some trouble coming up. So we're going to find some rules. We can do that. We can use a few indicators to determine what kind of trend we're going to be looking at. It should be a little bit interesting what we're going to cover in these videos.